Namaste, Jai Bharat. The Balochistan provinces burning in Pakistan. There was a recent train hijack, and previously we used to talk about class societies. It's Karl Popper, who is otherwise known as a philosopher of science, who wrote that book, Open Societies and Its Enemies. He was actually talking about class societies, basically communist societies, like that one at that time in China. Of course, we now know that China is far from archetypical communism. They have devised their own dictatorship of the party leadership, and there is a class in China, class difference in China, unlike what Marx envisages. There is a bourgeois class, the party, the Communist Party people, and the common people, the proletarians, who are otherwise idiots in front of their eyes. That's what the Chinese people are. In front of their eyes, they take advantage of the people. So, it's class kind of society, and Pakistan is yet another class society which does not leak out in the news. We know that the Baluchi rebels, or in their own terms, freedom fighters. Of course, Balochistan has its own history of, there was a Hindu king, towards even much later there was a Hindu king. Of course, the entire region was Hindus, ruled by Hindu kings in the past, and it's only with the Qasim's kind of invasion, the Arab Qasim invasion, that the whole area is turned into forced Islamization. Forced, it's compelled to be choosing a religion. They give an option, either death or religion. It's either you just cut yourself, either you die, or you go and do sunnat. These were the options given to them, and then many, those who have opted to convert than to die, many others died. Many people have opted to death. That's also there. They are the Muslims of today in those regions. Just think about the genesis and pedigree, who never resisted. They gave in simply for lives. So that kind of invasion, that's the kind of Muslims you find in the entire area, most area. You can't imagine a situation where people get convinced in Islam and turn into Islam on a general pattern. That's not likely for any common sense perception. So look at this. The news of the train hijack doesn't come out. Initially, the government said, no, they just busted. That's a lie, which says that we have rescued all the hostages. We have rescued all the hostages. And they lied that the women and children were rescued. Actually, the women and children were not rescued. They were released by the Baluchis, unlike what we see in Hamas. Just compare the Hamas and the Baluchis, and you can find out who are what. The Baluchis released these women and children, and the army, those who claim, or the Pakistan nation who claim that they have rescued, have not supported those people who were released by Baluchis. They had to walk from the spot of release to wherever they could go, maybe to a railway station nearby. They had to wait. No railways really running there. No train is running. The whole place is cut off. So initially the government said, we have rescued this thing, that thing. Normal kind of Lahori busting. And Lahori busting it is called. That's done. Then suddenly somehow the news will leak out. See, there's no legitimate news agency for functioning in Pakistan. Al Jazeera is there, that's the only agency. Otherwise, they get news from stinger operations, which should be legible, which should be reliable to some extent, but not always completely reliable. They also speak of things which they obtain through this way, that will largely depend on the propaganda news which the state apparatus provides. So these things, everything is fine, but that's all false. The Pakistan army had never reached. Then the Pakistani army started telling we did this, we did that, we rescued, and those things go also. And then suddenly they also understand that their lies were exposed internationally. So actually, the Pakistan has no control over them. Look at this. Pakistan has no control over Balochistan. By and large, Balochistan is under some kind of Balochi rule. I wonder what is that stops the Balochis from declaring autonomy and going into a nation of themselves. It can happen at any moment. Similarly, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa situation also. Now you see, Pakistanis, for every step they keep claiming hum Musalman hai, but then I don't think other Islamic world accept these people as Muslims, because they must be having some kind of standards of being a Muslim, and such things are not found among the Pakistanis who are converted Punjabis. And then we, of course, are sure that these people in Pakistan are not really Punjabis. That I keep telling, they are not really Punjabis. That I call them as in a very decent manner duplicate Punjabis. That is the most, the highest decent utterance which I can make. So many other rhetorics are there, but I am not using that. Indecent. So no one is accepting them even as Muslims, and they, of course, in their turn, don't accept any other person as Muslims. There is something wrong from the genesis of separatism. Of course, the genesis of separatism. Pakistan is the result of a separatistic movement started right after 1857 in Bharat, and that spread and it got pushed at 1905 and got Bengal divided into Hindu Bengal and Muslim Bengal, and the next year they formed All India Muslim League in 1906 with the help of the Nawab of Dhaka, and continued the separatist movement. That in a nation like Bharat, where the knowledge tradition has an epistemology of coexistence of the multiple and plural, they created separatism. Now, such kind of separatism, since the Balochis are not going for separatism, they are going for their existence. They had nothing to do with the Pakistanis at any point in time. Basically, Hindu kings, in spite of them being Sunni Muslims, by and large, Hindu culture, which the Punjabi, converted Punjabis have completely lost. And then the Afghanis, they have their own distinct culture. Islam is a religion, but they still maintain their culture. And Pakistanis have nothing. The Punjabis, the converted Punjabis, have nothing of this sort. So they actually are the losers. They are actually got defeated. That's how they get isolated. And no news is coming out. So all kinds of lies, and then these lies are getting exposed. Now the army is also silent, not speaking anything about it. Serious is the situation in Pakistan, very serious. Anytime it can fall apart, and it's not happening. I do not know what is further requisite to create the kind of something which evolves into 2-3 parts of today's Pakistan, into something a Khyber Pakhtunkhwa state, the Balochi state, and then some other parts also. And of course, they had been speaking of Kashmir, and the Kashmir is they had been telling Kashmir Banega Pakistan because they themselves are not sure that Kashmir is somewhere connected with them. They have nothing to do with it. Similarly is the condition in Balochistan. They have nothing to do with Balochis. But Balochistan is a rich province. Pakistan had been taking them for a ride for all these years, taking them for a ride and keeping them under coercive situations where they were not denied of everything. Not even a good college, as I understand. Not even decent universities. Not even infrastructure for good education. Other structures of roads, this and that, nothing is there in Balochistan. Pakistanis did nothing. That means the converted Punjabis did nothing to them. They kept everything to themselves. This is unlike the Punjabis of Bharat, even the Muslim Punjabis of Bharat. They themselves say, the Pakistanis themselves say, the Muslim Punjabis of Bharat are absolutely different from the converted Pakistani Punjabis. So Baloch news don't come out. And you suffer from what you have created. You opened the jar and let out the ghost, let out the jinn in their language of separatism. And the separatism goes into an infinite regress. There will be separatism to separatism to separatism. I wonder why it took so long years. It should have been happening in 10, 15, 20 years, this kind of separatism, but still somehow they remained one. This is actually, I really wonder how could they stay as one all these years. And but it has to happen. Somewhere, in some point in time, they created the separatism, and the separatism will go as infinite regress. It will continue and continue and continue. Even if there's a last person left, he himself will find differences within himself to fight with himself. It's unfortunate, but that's reality with Pakistan. We shall meet again with some other thoughts. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.